It's Bike Mike back again with Nine Quest, and we're still here with John Paul, Detroit area artist, in his studio. He's kind enough to show us one of his earliest works that he did probably around 1991.
So you guys are you're delving into the labyrinths of my
this is as old as far as it goes back.
So this piece, this piece has a lot of nostalgic value. This is the first painting I ever did with my mom. Like we talked about earlier, she used to draw and paint, and so obviously technically this piece is a little abysmal, but this has so much nostalgic value, and it was really cathartic actually painting with her, because that's almost what sent me on the path to discover the medium of paint, really. And it's just your very typical Thomas Kincaid-esque two deer, one drinking from a pond, but it really set the the path for.
Well, you can see the promise of a young budding artist in there. And what age would you say you were there?
Don't judge me by this piece. This is very therapeutic and cathartic for me. I was maybe 11 years old.
11 years old?
Yeah, 11 years
old.
So this was the transition from drawing constantly. And me and my mom would do this a lot. Like, this is how I essentially learned and honed the skill set for technical drawing, really. I would see an image, and it would strike me, whether it was from a magazine or a newspaper or even family photos. And I would say, wow, I really like this piece. And I would go to my mom, and I would say, draw this for me. And so she'd be like, you get the hell away from me. I'm trying to do something right now. And I'd be like, no, draw it. So she'd find, okay, here, and then she'd start drawing it. So she would start getting into the drawing. Maybe I knew subconsciously that if I got her to start drawing, she would get into it. And so she started getting into the drawing, and I would watch her draw, and then I would copy her drawing from the original reference. And it wasn't until maybe about the age of 8 or 9 that I started copying directly from a reference. And so that's how I learned, started informally learning the technical capacity of drawing. Graphite drawing, charcoal drawing, pastel drawing, and dry pastel. So, yeah. So that's how that happened. And then it Frankensteined into this
Now you have
thing.
Paintings everywhere.
Yeah, paintings everywhere, man. And you know what's amazing about painting too is it really takes a long time to develop a voice and an authentic language of what it is that you're trying to say. And I don't necessarily think that it's a direct message maybe that you're always trying to say, but it's something that you're trying to extend and express from the internal archives of your heart or your mind. And that's something to say. And then people will interpret it the way they will. Always. There's always going to be a lost in translation scenario that happens between what you intend and hear and what somebody else views. And that's maybe part of the great discrepancy of art. I think that's part of it, what other people see. So, yeah.
I noticed the difference between these two paintings. This is sort of a newer style painting, and similar to the one we're working on here.
Yeah, so this series right here was spawned from a conversation I was having with my former agent, actually, and another artist. We were talking in at his house, and we were just talking about art and the production of art and everything that entails. And so they told me, why don't you cut loose a little bit and don't be so tight about your work. I
where you loosened up on the hyper realistic aspects?
Yeah, more of the realism and the naturalism, and to a certain extent hyper realism. Like, for example, hey, this guy.
Yeah, Gavin.
George Gavin Williams. I love this guy. George,
yeah.
He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah,
charcoal drawing I did, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He looks a bit younger. You can tell it was a while back.
This was about 7 years ago.
Yeah,
I think. 7, 8
yeah.
years
Well,
ago.
and judging by your
Maybe 6 years. Yeah, but the stuff I was doing was a lot like, like that. Very detailed. Very
yes.
technically
like photographic quality.
I mean, certain components of it, was.
I mean, you see that girl's hair. There's hair. It's like HD TV.
Yeah. What the hell's here? Yeah, another one. What I wanted to show you that was it here? Let's see what this is. Yeah, store. Yeah, there's another. If you want to come here.
Okay, yeah. Oh no, I know that's one of my favorite.
See
Yeah,
that?
I have a copy of that actually.
That was
digital copy. Looks like Angelina Jolie almost.
Yeah. So, and there was a lot of references to that type of
Matter
stuff.
of fact, I called that on the thing Jolie. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. That piece is called Vexed.
Vexed. Okay.
And I go off on tangents, man. Oh, here's a good one. Monastic concentration. This is a cool piece.
Okay, yeah, this is one I've never seen before. But again, with the hair, is like incredible.
I
mean, if anybody walked into the room and you showed them that, they would probably think it was a photograph. Is my
there was a lot of like, oh, that's a cool picture. At the opening, actually, I did a whole that show right there at the Plymouth Community Arts Council.
Right.
I had a solo show there in 2012, and that was predominantly my black and white, my monochromatic work, the drawings. Let's see, what's this?
I do remember that show. I was there and I saw most of those. And
you were at that show?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I did. I did go there. Yep. They had the one I called the Fly, but I know you have a different name for it.
The Fly, yeah.
He has a red scarf.
There
was a couple different things. That,
you compared him to Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum, sure.
Oh, here.
Yeah, definitely.
So
same way. I see. So that was one series, not
So tying back in. So I was sitting at a friend's house. He's an artist and my former agent too. And they're like, you gotta stop. You gotta stop with the whole. Like loosen up a little bit. Not everything has to be so. And throughout the conversation, I got kind of defensive because it's like, what do you guys know?
He's attacking and it's your God-given talent to be able to reproduce those things.
Yeah, and so I got mad and. we didn't fight, but internally I was kind of wrestling with that idea, and I was like, screw these guys, man. What do they know, So, I left, and not immediately. I mean, we had a couple beers afterwards, and then I left. I came home, came to my studio. It was like 4 a.m, but I wasn't, drinking and driving. I mean, I had peed the beer out. so I came home. I was upset, and I had a piece. Of linen that was mounted on one of this panel, the HDF panel, and it was I didn't mount it the right way. It started to get air pockets and what have you, so it was going to be discarded. And then I said to myself, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to show these.
Give it a shot.
These schmucks. So I fixed the linen, cropped it and everything, and I went to town. I finished the painting in about an hour, which had never happened before, because I was so meticulous and this and that. And I was like, oh man! And what's amazing, the fundamental difference between like that type of stuff is that was so surgical and tactical and meticulous, and the hair and the shading, and this has to recede, this has to advance, and this stuff is much more about the process and about the journey. That Odyssey much more than the destination, and it's so much more liberating, so much more fun, and so it spawned this series. I got this out because I just varnished it and I want it to breathe. But this is called The Fastidious Ones. This was at a show at the Alfred Berkowitz Gallery at the U of M Dearborn campus. It was also at the Cherry Hill Village Theater in an annual juried competition show a couple of years ago. And so I let loose on the approach, and I felt myself that I was much more productive spiritually and technically in the work. And so there was about 19 or 20 of these.
In the series, you mean?
The series, yeah.
And by series, you mean?
Literally, there was a serial amount of them.
Okay. I mean, it's a series that it just had similar style.
Yeah, I mean, in layman's terms, yeah, the stylistic approach was much looser, was much more visceral, much more intuitive, and one led, that's part of that series.
Okay. Okay.
Real Bad Leather. It's also from the same series as this piece, Lipstick on Your Collar.
Okay.
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 And
so a series begins naturally and ends naturally, just as you.
I think so. I think any good reel. Anything that involves integrity, real, true, authentic integrity, has to stem from some sort of evolutionary process. And I think that's what it started off as, this violent rebellion.
Right. Was that the first piece of the series after that night, or was that just like precursor to your series there?
That was like a precursor.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's how it started.
Yeah, that kind of cut you loose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In an angry way.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
But
you didn't consider that part of your series, though.
No.
Okay.
Well, I guess technically it still is.
Yeah, it was kind of like 1A or
1A,
0,
1B,
0.
Like
that was 0. That was a 0.
Yeah, that was Patient Zero.
Yeah, Patient Zero. Series 0 of the series. Yeah.
Right. That was.
And then you went on with 19 others that were.
Huh?
You went on with 19 others beyond that, including these.
Yeah.
And
that started. So it started off in an angry rebellion, and I started to peel the onion about that, and those sort of feelings dissipated within about 2 hours. The whole "I'm going to show them" attitude, and then it really became genuine. And one piece led to another. Another smaller piece led to a piece up there. This was. I think you've seen this piece. Yeah, you've seen this piece, right, Mike?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it led to something like this.
Right. I can see the similarity.
And it led.
I think that was one that we printed out. We printed out for you to compare on a printer.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we did that. We did. Now.
And, by the way, there's another tight one.
Oh yeah.
This is on clayboard.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Now it's got. I didn't even know. It's got some other markings on it. See, you guys are witnessing something that's very even new to me. If you see the paint splatter here from
I do see a little bit of it.
This is not intended.
Like overspray. No.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see the.
Right. So.
But it's still incredible the way the hair is done. I mean, strand that's one pencil line or.
Literally. Sometimes
the finest pencil possible. Yeah, of known to man.
And I work from like a 3H all the way to like a 9B. In the scale. And so one led to another. This is number 5.
Now, was this painted from live models or was it from a?
Yeah. So what I was doing, that's another thing. The work before the meticulous stuff was really photographic oriented. So there was always a reference. It was always a picture of someone I knew, or I assimilated certain photographs and sort of in a culmination and led to what I did, because I was never interested in capturing a likeness of anybody unless it's a commission, but I was always interested in reality, and so so they're based on some photographic references, just literally as a springboard. Here we go, using the word literally in an improper context again, and then it just kind of catapulted from there. So and as the painting progressed and developed, I was no longer interested in a likeness at all. It was just about the intuition of painting. By the way, this piece, this piece won the best of show.
It looks like it could. Yeah.
At a show. Oh, thanks, Mike. At a show.
Now the models were people models for hire, or
they're based on one was a photograph I found in an article.
Mm-hmm. So just like in a magazine, or
there were a bunch of loose loose pages that I must have collected like from my student days,
Mm-hmm.
and it just morphed into something completely different, different color palette, different facial expressions, different face, different mark making, and so if you I don't know if you want to zoom in, but there's
Sure,
a
I'll
lot
zoom
of
in.
a lot of palette knife too. So I started incorporating the palette knife.
Okay,
like
go
in
ahead,
these little
point out.
areas.
Yeah, let me see. Oh yeah, I see. I see.
know,
That's
in
kind of
these-
like jagged.
Yeah,
little.
in here.
Where you
in
actually
there.
scrape away.
Yes,
Paint?
some of it. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you see, there's a lot of scraping
Yeah,
away, a lot of
yeah, I
adding and
see, I
scraping,
see, I
adding and
see, I
scraping.
see. Uh-huh.
And I love that juiciness of. It's like almost you want to like you want to gnaw on the paint. You want to eat it, and don't ever do that.
No.
But that's how juicy that paint was, and then these marks. It's amazing. It's like so subtle as it's happening, but when you look back in retrospect, you realize how one mark could lead to another mark and another body of work. Like something like that, that palette knife stroke down right there, led to something like that, where this.
You mean the evolution, the evolution of
the
that,
mark.
of that, and this is from one series to the next,
Yeah.
but that is kind of the thread that ties
That's the
the
common
second
thread,
series
right.
together.
Right,
Yeah,
and
and
it
then this
doesn't-
is kind of like the precursor to
Yeah.
just those marks in this paint.
And the reason why I call it an evolution, just like biological evolution, where it takes years, hundreds of thousands and millions of years for something to evolve. Obviously, this is a microcosm of that, but that's how it happens. And so,
Yeah.
You know,
Where
that
you were
develops
cutting
into
loose.
that. Yeah,
and you can
exactly.
even see the color similarity. I mean, it just happens to be, I think,
right,
between here and here.
right,
Just with this.
right, and like this area, okay, developed into like this type of
Right. I do see it. I
where-
see the very yeah.
where the background bleeds into the foreground,
Yes,
and the
yeah.
foreground bleeds into, and so this
Right.
sort of reversible thing where there's no set rigid structure of this has to be the foreground, that has to be the background. It comes in and it's like an orchestra, like it's like a symphony of paint, and so that developed into the current stuff. That one.
This would be considered a new series now. I mean,
Yeah, this is the latest type of stuff that I'm working on. There's an artist by the name of Victor Wang, an amazing painter. If you check out his palette, it is so inundated with color, and you look at it, and it's almost like like Lucian Freud on steroids. It's got so much texture and color and relationships and little moments that come together and break up and come together and break up. And I was looking at a lot of his work, and like I said, I mentioned earlier, Jason Sean Alexander too, and his work. I love what he's doing. Some of my work, by the way, makes reference to the pulp noir. I feel like I'm reading off my artist statement. Pulp noir genre of like the 60s and the 50s and 60s.
pulp noir, is it?
Pulp noir.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I didn't know what you said, yeah.
And the 70s where you have figures, in my case, the female subject, and so they're sort of isolated.
What about this one? Would you say that falls into
This one. That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that piece is called Red Vixen. Actually,
Yeah, like
that definitely
that,
falls into something like
the
that.
pulp noir.
Because
yeah.
like you see these images of these women, like sort of these voluptuous kind of curvaceous women, smoking a cigarette.
Right.
It's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night and what have you, and they're alone and they're thinking and they're anticipating something bad is about to happen. So I was always attracted to that sort of genre. This one for sure. Lipstick on your collar.
Yeah. Femme fatale, maybe.
Femme fatale. And and it developed into this current series, and who knows where that's going to take off. This is the latest one. Right here.
Now I know you've painted some of your girlfriends, or one or two.
Yeah.
But I mean, now, have you ever dated any models? Have you had? I mean, were you?
You mean like supermodels?
Well, I meant models. Have you ever had a model that you painted that was sitting, or?
Oh yeah, that's happened. Yeah, of course.
okay,
We had a lot of that as an undergrad and graduate student. There were models like rotating door. I mean, they're always coming in and out. There was a lot of that. A lot of the new, because we had to study classical anatomy, of course, to understand
Right,
the
nude
figure.
models and everything.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. But ex-girlfriends, I've painted a few here and there. Hey man, and I wish sometimes I didn't, because like sometimes you paint it and because you're in the moment and it's this beautiful incandescent thing that you got and you think you're gonna capture it forever with this painting, and then it goes to shit like in a month after, and you go, wow, now I have a 5 foot by 5 foot painting of my ex-girlfriend. What the hell am I gonna do with it? Here she is, like Big Brother watching. So yeah, I've done that, much to my dismay. And yeah, man. So
Now,
I'm really excited about the trajectory of the new work. I really am.
it's interesting stuff. I think it like gives you like a trademark, a signature. Well, but it's just another series, right? But I mean,
Yeah,
but
and who knows? I could do another 50 of these, or
right.
you could stop at 7.
Right, you never know.
20,
right. But that's what the freedom of our artistic expression is, right?
Yeah, I mean, you go through movements and you look at Picasso with the blue period, the rose period, analytical cubism, synthetic cubism, so on and so forth. So, yeah, man.
Now, where would you put this guy? What is it? What series was he in? Was he or was he what circa?
That piece is from is it graduate school or undergraduate school?
Okay, so it's quite a ways back.
Yeah, that's a learning piece. That was just for a class. These pieces I call the rogues. They just sort of hang. It's like, I am Iron Man. They're just sort of on the perimeter. And they're good reflective pieces. If you want to go back and see how you painted technically, how you saw the world technically, that was based on an Edouard Manet painting. That was the assignment, to take a painter that you were interested in, the godfather of French Impressionism, and incorporate your own subject in an environment that he had used, and so that was what that's about.
Well, now here's one that I hadn't seen before. Is that like
Emerald and Ivory? Yeah. That piece is. I started that piece trying to apply for the Dirty Show in Detroit.
Are you talking about this one over here?
Is that the one you're referring to?
Well, I was referring to this one, but yeah, okay, Emerald and Ivory, okay.
Oh, In Motion.
In Motion.
Yeah.
Now, is that part of the series of?
That's part of.
These two. Both of them. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Both of them.
This one's immediately recognizable as part of the series. This one, not so much.
Yeah, because I started to get tight again.
Yeah.
And ironically.
Yeah, you can see with the hair. The hair. Well, that hair is pretty detailed too. But yeah,
but you can see with the fur.
Yeah, the fur.
And
and the couch.
With this series, definitely the couch.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, that was the last painting in that series. Because that's when I realized that I was, falling back into the realism stuff. So I wanted to get away from that, and I think I had exacerbated that type of process a little bit, and it kind of jumped to this type of stuff, So
well, it's good to see that evolution, because that was certainly one of the questions I had. I mean, I was hoping to get on a longer scale, but that worked us through.
Sure.
At least those, the last two series, and then.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you picked that up inadvertently, the idea that you could see In Motion with the black background as part of this series.
Yeah, definitely.
But that one, you even referenced what area of the painting that started to get really tight. The couch. And you're right, and I kind of did away from that.
The Dirty Show, though, you had that thing for the
I was going to apply it to the Dirty Show. I don't remember if I did or not.
Yeah.
Apparently it wasn't dirty enough, because I didn't show there. But, yeah, that's on my agent's website.
Now, if anybody wanted to get a hold of you to do a painting, or you have a website, or to purchase one of your paintings,
I'm available for commissions. You can check out my work, by the way. You can check out the bulk of this work at www.johnpaul-art.com. That's my website. And if you go to the gallery icon, click under painting, you'll see a lot of the work. You won't see any of the new stuff because I haven't photographed it yet. But that I am going to upload that onto the website. So there's going to be a lot more pieces in the near future. And then you can contact me via email too, virgo12.arts@gmail.com. If you have any inquiries about sales, or if you have any inquiries about possible custom commissions, definitely get a hold of me. And so yeah, but check out my work, johnpaul-art.com. And yeah, man. That's
And
awesome.
then one more time about your upcoming show. I don't know if you have the exact dates, do you? Or
Yeah,
it was 2016.
Yeah, I don't have the exact dates, but I think it's the month of March, 2016, solo show at the Village Theater in Canton, the Cherry Hill Village Theater in Canton. I'll have hopefully I want to have between 35 and 40 pieces. So a lot of this stuff will be in the show. So whoever out there want to check it out, and I'm going to have a lot more information on that also on the website under events. Icon events, and click on that, and then you'll see. But I won't have any information until a few months from now. So definitely check that out. You gonna be there, Mike? You gonna come?
Oh
to that
yeah,
show?
I can make it. Maybe we'll even do like
Have
a
some cocktails,
video follow up to
Yeah.
the Nine Quest on the road or whatever.
Definitely
but,
come photograph that show, and and videotape that show.
we're down to question number 9 now. This is the last one of the 9 quests. I don't know if it actually asked it.
Yeah.
If money and time were no object, how would it influence the art?
If money and time were no object, how would that influence the art?
Or would it? I don't know.
It would, I guess, peripherally, in the sense that I would paint larger.
Bigger?
Yeah.
Murals?
The
No, I don't know.
Maybe not mural
No.
size, but like 5 feet by 7 feet, 6 feet by 8 feet, or something.
Bigger studio, I think, would be in the
Definitely
order.
bigger studio.
Yeah, well,
Are you kidding
that'd
me?
be influence.
Are you kidding
Every
me?
paint, every shade of paint that any tube of paint that you wanted.
I would buy the entire line of old Holland.
You could have it delivered immediately through, I don't know, one of these futuristic
Yeah.
delivery services. Well,
But
that's
yeah,
a few
so
things.
The space, definitely the space. That's first and foremost. It would be a nice loft, flat space where I would set it up, and I could just paint and bring in these gargantuan paintings and paint larger. So in terms of approach or conceptualization or theme or style, that's got nothing to do with money.
Yeah,
Or anything like that.
yeah.
That's got to do with your experiences.
Sure.
In life, and where you predict, where you see your work is being channeled to. But man, I wish I didn't have that problem. Oh, could you imagine?
Maybe you should at least sketch out your perfect art space. You know what I
how
mean?
many times I've done that?
Oh, you've already got it. You
Are
got
you
the sketches.
kidding me?
Yeah. Like you have it. You have a plan for it, but you haven't quite.
Like even like a blueprint floor plan.
Yeah,
where
that's what I'm
everything's
saying.
gonna be
Yeah.
laid
Well,
out,
yeah.
And where I'm going to put the shelf and
Oh,
where
you have. You've got it. You've got it. You've done it already. Okay.
where the easel is, what type of easel. I want the best company called Jack Richardson makes a Santa Fe easel. Oh man, what a gorgeous easel! I would buy that, and So yeah, I've been planning that for the past 10 years, man. But to no avail. Mike. You wanna participate, Mike? And
to be a patron of the arts.
be a patron of the
I got a few. You can have
one.
that. I was going to say you could have my ale bottle, but you give me the ale, so that's not going to help you. Well, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the 9 Quests for inviting us into your wonderful studio. It's been a blast.
It has.
I've learned more about art than I ever imagined I could know.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And I'm glad you came down. I really enjoyed this experience, Mike.
This has been great. It's worked out better than what we ever thought, and I hope that the viewing audience will also will get to enjoy this. I mean, I hope it gets out there where we need it to get out there, and
absolutely
goes viral. 6 billion people. 6 billion people wouldn't be too much to see this.
Man,
but
that's
anyways,
a lot of people.
Anyways,
and we can maybe for the next time we could talk about art history and maybe.
Oh yeah. Well, next time we'll go, instead of going an hour and a half, it'll make it about a 9-hour document.
It sure doesn't turn into a snooze fest, right?
Right.
Cool.
All right, guys.
Hey, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. JohnPaul-art.com, Virgo12.arts@gmail.com. Peace. Appreciate it. Thank you.